Hey there, fellow hungry travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're here in Bogota, Colombia. And today we're going to talk about a few things you should eat when you come here to Bogota. Two things you need to know when you come here is, one, they love their meats when you're here in Bogota. And number two, they love their soups as well. So when you come here, if you're going to see any place that's de carne, like a meat place, make sure you have the lomo, the beef, or the chicken. I mean, that's fantastic. The pork, chicharrones, oh my God. Yeah, the chicharrones, the fried pork belly, the cooked pork belly, oh my God, it's so good. But you cannot go wrong with the meats when you're here in Bogota. That's one thing. A lot of people don't talk about the meats, but here, yes, you're going to have some meat when you're here. Second thing are the soups, and probably the most famous dish that's from Bogota, or like a Bogota traditional dish, is Ajiaco, which is a chicken and potato soup. You'll find it in restaurants all over the city, find it around the country too, but it's really a thing from here. And yes, it might have rice and avocado on the side, or cream or capers. You can put that in there as well. But yeah, the chicken potato soup, the ajiaco, that is, thank you, gracias. As you can tell, the people are awesome here as well. But that's something new. But also the soups here, the sancocho, which is a meat and potato soup that you get all over the country. You can have that. There's breakfast soup when you're here. You have actually like a rib, I guess you call it like rib soup. Basically, you have that costillera. You'll have that for breakfast, so like a beef broth with that. That's something you're going to have. And a breakfast soup you also might have is changua, which is eggs and bread, cilantro, cream. I mean, it is actually really good, but it is one of those things people don't realize that, yes, soup can be for breakfast here in Bogota and other parts of the country, but here especially, so you have that. Another thing you want to have when you are here in Bogota, trucha, trout. Trout is really good when you are here. You'll see it on the menus as well. So if you want to get away from the meat and you want to have some more, some fishy stuff, you can't go wrong with the trout. We had it today. Oh, fantastic. Now, since you are here in Bogota and you are in Colombia, you do have to have arepas, which is basically like a cornmeal bread kind of thing. Sometimes you have a really small, crispy one. For at breakfast, you might have it there, or you might have it with cheese, or you might have it with egg, where they kind of cut it in and then put the egg or the cheese inside of it. Oh my gosh, it's one of those things that's so Colombian. You have to have it when you're here. So tell me, it's the arepa de chocolo.
So this is arepa de choclo. It's kind of sweet. It's not a salty cheese. It's good. Oh, I love the texture too.
The other day, so you can do that and
I see myself eating a lot of these this week.
Another thing you might have when you are here, because they do love their meats, we go back to that, is fritanga or picado, which basically a bunch of different grilled meats together. And I want to warn you, when you're here, they might have some intestines in there. So when you get it here in Bogota, just be ready that the local waiter might be like, hey, you might want to know that there's something in there. And it can be good if you like it or not, but it's one of those things you might have when you're here. And you do share with your friends when you're having a pola. A pola is a beer. You want to have beer when you're here. They do have that. A very popular thing. Obviously, you can get the aguardiente, the spirit that's here from Colombia. You can get that lots of places too. But one drink I really recommend you have is actually chocolate con queso, which is hot chocolate with cheese. It's this white cheese they tear up, and you put in your hot chocolate and you let it melt, and that mix of chocolate and cheese together, oh, it's so good. You really have to have it when you are here. And there's other things too. Lulado, which is like a lulo, which is it looks like an orange, but it's like clear inside. You make that, it's like a juice. Oh my God, the juices here, you can have those things. The lemonade, or actually I should say it's limeade, limonada. Limeade you have here is really good. So you have juices, all kinds of great stuff, smoothies type things, because it's Colombia. There's tons of fruit. Now, when you're here in Bogota, you're going to see a lot of street, vendors that are selling food and eating on the streets and street snacks. You're going to have that. Don't worry, you can eat it. It's good. And a lot of them are a version of a cheese bread or cheesy bread. You have that. But another thing you're going to see is obleas, which is basically like wafers, and they'll put like caramel in there or cheese or fruit into the middle. You'll have that. That's really good as well. You might see like stringy mango or chopped up mango. You want to have that, but street foods are definitely something you're going to have when you're here. And that's one of those things, when you come here to Bogota, people love to eat. And so there's tons of restaurants from all over the country, so you can try different foods from different parts of Colombia and enjoy that. But honestly, when it's the meat and the street foods and everything, you can't go wrong. And honestly, hit up a bakery when you are here, because there's great bakeries and great stuff to have. So we have a whole video on the eats of Colombia, the snacks of Colombia, the drinks of Colombia. Watch those, know what you really need to get from all over the country. But I just want to give you some that are really definitely something you want to have here in Bogota.